Welcome back to the D-Shift Summit. Your host for this session is Leslie Evans. Leslie is the founder and CEO of Rise of the Phoenix, host of the Rise Revolution Summit for Midlife Women, and master healer, therapist, and hypnotherapist. Hailing from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, she's got another amazing guest coming right up. Take it away, Leslie.
Welcome everyone to the D Shift and welcome. I am hosting this track along with my co-host Laura Richards, who was also speaking first today. Welcome, and I'm so glad you're all here with us for this wonderful and really educational day.
Yes.
And so no worries about audio.
Yeah,
It's all good. We can just jump
that's
right
right.
in. Yeah,
That's
we know
right.
what we're
Yep,
doing.
that's right.
So I just want to start, Laura, by like, thank you for being here and sharing what you need to share with all of us today and what you have on your heart. I really appreciate all the speakers that are here today. So thank you for being here.
Of
Um,
course.
and and you are here to talk about your next chapter starts here. I
Yes.
love this. Such an important topic. So
Yes.
welcome. Your
Thank
next
you.
chapter starts here.
Yes.
Um, So, Laura, I know that usually the things we share that are on our heart are because we've learned something in our lives that we want to share with others. Can
Yes.
you tell us a little bit about what brought you to this point to be
hmm
sharing what you're sharing with us today?
Yeah. So after 32 years of marriage at age 55, I had to start a new chapter. I got a divorce and was healing from that. And really, as I started to uh, heal and unravel and do all the work that that's what I wanted to do was I wanted to, what I call chase after my healing, because when I left my marriage, I was like, I don't like myself. My husband says he doesn't like me, all these things. I don't know if
Mhm.
anybody likes me. So I wanted to go after my healing. What I learned was at 55, I had to unravel my entire life of who I was and what did my next chapter look like? Who did I want to be when I grew up? Like who did I want to be before the world told me who to be? Who did I want to be? And so that's what I've been doing. A few months after I got divorced, I did start to unravel that what I had been in was narcissistic abuse. And so that's when I decided to start talking. And so the next chapter for me looks like someone who has boundaries and helps others come alongside and pulls people forward when they feel like they can't take one more step. And I'm still open to people in front of me pulling me forward. So that's why I will listen all day long to all these speakers, because I know I'm going to get something. Even if you've been through something, I know somebody's going to share a nugget today that's going to really help you. So that's what I've been doing. And that's what I do. I speak really to women in midlife because that's me. And what do we do next when we've decided to leave a marriage, or maybe we're left and you go, now what? Now what do I do? Is it too late? And it's not too late.
It is.
Spoiler alert, it's not too late.
It is absolutely not too late. In fact, this is an amazing time in life.
Yes.
Right? Midlife, and I didn't know it at the time when I came into midlife, but I've learned it now. What an amazing time, and all these things that we get to discover about ourselves. It's really cool, and you might not feel that now,
Right.
but I'm telling you, there's light and there's hope,
Yes,
because
exactly.
right, Laura and I are here to share that there is a next step, and it's pretty amazing when you allow it.
Yes. And that's why when we talk, when we sit in these summits, when we listen to other speakers, I listen to other creators and speakers, and it doesn't matter that I'm already divorced and a few years out, it doesn't matter. I am still open to learning, because what is the next chapter going to look like? Yesterday was my birthday and I said, I'm writing the next chapter. What's the next chapter? Like, what are we doing at chapter 59? What are we going to do? And
Right.
and I'm still dreaming. And part of that is you know, this impetus of like, I spent so many years not doing what I wanted to do. And so
Yeah.
I almost am like, I have to hurry. But we, you know, I mean, of course we don't know who, you know, we don't know tomorrow, right? No one is promised tomorrow, but if we're alive and if we're not dead, we're not done. And so what do you want to do? Who were you before the world told you who to be? Who were you before somebody said, no, you can't paint. No, you can't write that book. No, you can't play pickleball or whatever it is because you're worried about what somebody might think. Who are you? And if even if we don't know, because when I went to therapy, I was like, I don't know who I am. And she's like, oh my gosh, yay, you get to figure it out. You get to, it's such a pleasure. And I'm like, oh, thank God for healthy friends who are like, yay, you get to figure it
Right.
out.
Right. It's such a time of discovery if we let it be that, right?
Yeah,
And I love, that you talked about this. Like I may have arrived at where I had wanted to be, and yet
yes.
there's still more chapters unfolding,
That's it. That's it. And
right?
so I don't look at it. And I had a lot of older women along in my life that were just like, I would look at them, you know, maybe 20 years older than me, going, oh no, I'm not done. I'm not done yet. And I was like, oh, we don't get to a finish line. You know, I want to be helping people and loving on people and rippling out that positive vibration and light to the entire world till the day I die. That's what I want to do. Because
Yeah.
excuse me, because we need so much of the healthy, the high vibration, right? And that's what I want to be doing. So even though it seems like what I talk about is really dark, excuse me, because what we're doing is, you know, talking about abuse, but I'm telling you, there's a lot of hope on the other side. And that's why today is going to be such a day filled with hope. You're going to see people who have been through divorce or help others with divorce and are on the other side and can help you.
Yes, I agree. I agree. It is quite a wonderful day Marty has put together. Amy, you are in the right space, and I'm telling you, at any point, you are always right where you're supposed to be. So I'm glad you're here. Hello, everyone saying hello.
Oh,
I do
hello.
want to I do want to kind of get into this. Your next chapter starts here. Okay, so let's talk about that, Laura.
Yeah.
What,
Yeah.
what your next chapter starts here. Okay. How do we, sometimes we just feel, like you
Yeah.
said, kind of we're just at the end of things. We've been kind of beaten down for so long in many ways, and it's
Right.
hard to see that there even is a next chapter sometimes,
Right.
or that it's going to be anything but more of the same,
Right, exactly. You know, so
right?
when I'm talking to women in either one-on-one or in groups, when I'm talking to them, the first thing is, look, we have to validate our experience. Okay, you don't need external validation. Look, we've been societalized to think that we have to have the external validation, but we need to get away from that. So we need to learn to say, like, okay, I made this decision. It's okay. I'm going to move forward because if we fall down, we get back up. And so we validate our experience and our decisions that we've made, and then we keep moving forward. We learn how to set boundaries because most likely we haven't had boundaries.
Yeah.
If we were in abuse, we probably didn't have boundaries or strong boundaries. I didn't know what a boundary was. And as a recovering people pleaser, you know, well, as a people pleaser at that time, I'm not even a recovering people pleaser. I'm not a people pleaser anymore. So, as as a people pleaser, there was nobody being pleased because I let people walk all over me because I thought boundaries were telling people what to do. But boundaries are not telling people what to do. Boundaries are telling us, telling ourselves what we're going to do if people keep treating us poorly or the environment we're in is not healthy for us. And I didn't know that until I started healing after my divorce. I'm like, I don't know what boundaries are. I got to go figure this out. And so we learn
Right.
that, but boundaries go hand in hand with self-love. And if we don't love ourselves, we will never set a boundary. And so those go together. And this is you're going to come out the other side when you learn how to set boundaries, loving yourself
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
if you don't feel like you're worth setting a boundary for, you'll never set a boundary. But boundaries will really, those were the like the life-saving the game changer for me. That's what changed the game for my life. It's like, what do I want? And how? because boundaries aren't walls. How do the people in my life get to me? Because boundaries are a door. And I had to teach people that this is the door to get to me. And if you can't walk through that door, there's the door.
I think I could unpack so much with everything you've just shared, Laura, but I
Yes, there's
really,
so much.
boundaries keeps coming up. And we hear boundaries a lot. You gotta set your boundaries. You gotta blah 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 boundaries,
Yes.
blah 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 blah
Yes.
boundaries, blah 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 boundaries. And I love
Yes.
that you said this isn't about them.
Right.
This is about you. And I think part of this is, and you said this too, you're worthy. You're
Hmm.
worthy of love. You're worthy of happiness. You're
Right.
worthy of joy, of feeling good about yourself. You
Yeah.
deserve that. And
Hmm.
so when we understand that worthiness, or we even just start to open a little bit of that door that we're worthy of this, then we can start saying, well, this person doesn't make me feel good. This
Right.
person makes me feel bad when this happens. I don't
Hmm.
want to feel badly anymore. So guess what? The
Right.
door is closed,
Right. And it's their
right?
choice. It's their choice. And that's the hard part. Even you saying that, somebody who doesn't know how to set boundaries might be hearing, now I have to tell them that they're not in my life anymore. You actually
Right.
don't. Because if you
No.
hold your boundaries, which saying like, if you continue calling me names or whatever the thing, whatever your boundary is, if you continue doing that, I'm not going to call you anymore for dinner. I'm not going to hang out with you anymore. If you're at dinner, I'm not going to stay. I'm going to go ahead and leave. And let me tell you that you don't have to make an announcement. You don't have to have a quote unquote breakup. Many people who are unhealthy will see you getting healthy, and it's like a countenance about you. It's just the way you're walking through the world, and they're listening to you setting those boundaries around them. They just will quietly leave sometimes. I only had to have one, what I call a friendship breakup. I only had to have one. All the other ones
Yeah.
just quietly left. And the because the friendship was so close, it was a best friend situation that I had to go out of my way to like spell it out because I'd never set a boundary with this friend. And so
Right.
she actually took it as a threat. And I'm like, oh, that's what boundaries sound like to people who have never had a boundary set to them or have never heard a boundary, or why would you be setting a boundary with me? And that is scary. Your nervous system might think you're being, attacked or that you're
Right.
committing a crime or something, and you're not. And that's why it's okay to talk ourselves down in our nervous system and say, like, no, we're okay. We're safe. We're just setting a boundary. We're not committing a crime.
I often say when I'm working with people about setting boundaries, it's when you first start setting a boundary, you've been a certain way with somebody for a very long time.
Yes,
So, they're used to when they do this, you do this. And when you
correct.
start to say, you know what, I don't want you to do this anymore. I'm not going to be part of that anymore. I'm taking myself out of that equation. They don't know what to do with that.
Right. They want to get you back to who you were, which is most likely where they benefited from you not having boundaries. And so
Right?
those are the people who are going to be the loudest. Now, things like family boundaries, that's a big one. Seek professional help for those.
Yeah.
Family boundaries are the biggest, but if you're talking about friendships and spouses and even work environments, setting a boundary will make other people, like you said, go like, wait, but that's not what you usually do. And I did tell some
Yeah.
people, I know, but that was unhealthy. And I don't do that anymore. I had to like literally say those words saying, wait, you usually do this, this, and this. And I literally said, I know. And it was not healthy. And I don't do it anymore. And it's okay. It's okay to say those things. And the right people will be okay with you setting that boundary because it's not a wall, it's a door.
Yes. Yes. And I think it's not even they won't even just be okay. They'll be cheering on those boundaries
Yes.
that you're
Yes.
setting around other people's behaviors. Now, like
Right.
you said, it isn't you're not saying you're out of my life, but I'm telling you, if you behave this way, then I'm not going to be part of that. And so I love that. The right people will cheer you on and say, you go
Yes,
set those
exactly.
boundaries,
Yeah, and so
you
don't
know?
be scared. I mean, I did talk to my coach at some point. So I've had therapy and coaching, which coaching, takes you forward. Listen, I've done lots of other things in between, but I've done lots of things to heal. But I called my coach and said, that's it. I have no friends anymore. And she's like, it's okay, they're coming. And so what I learned was when the wrong people left my life, the good ones, the right ones could come in. But actually, what I found was there were friends already there, but there was no room for them to be close to me or to share with me until I got a little healthier because they were healthy. And as they
Yeah,
saw me getting healthier, they came closer and we had discussions. And then starting to talk about this, starting to understand as I talked, I heard other people saying, did you know I used to be in an abusive marriage? Well, no, because we don't talk about it. And so that's why I talk about it so that women don't feel alone. You are not the only one. I can't post anything on my social media without so many people like either DMing me or commenting, me too, me too, me too. I was in it
yeah,
for this long. I was in it for this long. And so you're not alone. And there's hope on the other side. All of us
yeah.
here today are proof of that. There's hope on the other side.
Yes, yes, there's hope. There is proof. We're living proof of it. We're living
Yes,
proof of it,
exactly.
right? So take that as that hope. I know we spent a lot of time on boundaries, but it feels like it's really
Yeah.
important to talk
Hmm.
about. But you talked about this piece of validating that life,
Yeah.
validating your choices. Let's talk a little bit about that so that we understand really what do you mean when you say
Yeah.
validate? Because so much of your life feels invalidated when you're in a
Yes.
relationship that is quite abusive.
And it's scary, right? To make a big decision. Like I made the decision to leave my marriage. And this was before I knew about narcissistic abuse. I talk about it at length on my podcast and my social media, how I didn't know. And this is very common. You don't realize when you're with a covert narcissist, you are so gaslit, manipulated, you don't know. So I did leave my marriage, making the decision that I couldn't go on one more day in the way that we were living. And so I had to be okay with that. And so when I'm speaking with women and they say, like, I left, maybe I should have stayed longer. Maybe I should have tried harder. Maybe I should have prayed more. All those things, I validate that they made the decision to go and that they made the decision to be in a healing group or something. I validate that. And just because it's scary doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means we haven't done it before. And we don't know what's on the other side. And so people get stuck in the trauma bond, which is a chemical reaction to being abused and loved, abused and loved. And
Right.
so now we're trauma bonded to this person. So leaving feels so scary and so painful. And it is, but that doesn't mean it was the wrong choice. And so that's the part we have to validate in ourselves and learn how to accept internal validation. Even if I don't tell you, great job, Leslie, for leaving that marriage. Even if I don't tell you that, or you did the right thing. Nope, I don't have to tell you. I want you to know you made the choice and you are going to be okay. And I want you to tell yourself you saved yourself. Great job. And even if
Yeah.
they walked out, they left, thank God.
Yeah,
And
right.
that's the validation.
I love that. I think it is really important to, again, this goes on with that self-worth, self-love, that piece where
Yes,
you start to learn, to understand that you're worthy of these things, and you actually don't have to justify your decision.
you don't. I love that. I love those words. Yes, you don't have to justify your decision. And that's something that I definitely talk to them about because we do want people to, when we're in the trauma bond, and we do want people to say, like, great job. Yes, you left. Oh my gosh, you should have done that. No,
Yeah,
because I'll tell you, half of the people I met said, you did? You left? You didn't try very hard? What? Okay, I was in 33 years. Like, how much harder? And it doesn't matter. And frankly, just even saying that, I have to say, doesn't matter if I was in a day, because if I was being abused and I decided I can't do this, then that's the choice I'm making. And so it's learning to walk in our own, um, just really in our own decisions and being okay with what we decided to do. And then learning to get over that trauma bond. We have to break that trauma bond. That comes with the whole thing, with the boundaries and the self-love, all that. We break the trauma bond that way. And also no contact. So, but I talk about this. I actually am releasing an episode on the trauma bond because it's such a deep subject. And it's
Yeah.
such a hard one. Like, how do you leave a marriage and then go, I really hate him. I really love him. I really hate him. It's really hard, but that's abuse. And we
Yeah.
have to talk about it.
I know that we have to, we could talk all day,
Okay.
Laura. I
Yes,
know
we
that,
could.
and we've got to start, kind of wrapping this
Yes,
up.
of
But I
course.
also, when you talk about that, I don't know that people know that you can feel two opposing emotions at the same
I
time,
love that
and
you're
that's
saying that.
okay.
It
That
is. It
is
is. I didn't
okay.
understand that either. I really didn't. And so thank God for people who talked about it. All the books and videos I saw and everything that said, yes, you can actually hate him and love him at the same time and miss him and hate him. And I was like, you're allowed to do that. And so there are many opposing things that we can hold space for. Doesn't mean it justifies what they did to us, but we can
Yes.
understand, yes, hate and love or
Yeah.
whatever the two opposing viewpoints are, we can hold them together.
Exactly. Exactly. And you will grieve
Yes.
that, leaving. Even
Yes.
if it wasn't good and it was abusive, you grieve that part of your life. And so it's
Yes.
okay. It's okay.
Yes.
And that's normal. That's normal.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
You have a
Okay.
free gift for everybody here today, right,
Yes.
Laura? Tell us a
Yes.
little bit about your free gift. It's your Not Crazy ebook.
Yes, I have an ebook for you guys. It's the You're Not Crazy, Reclaiming Your Sanity and Self-Worth After Narcissistic Abuse. And it really helps you to gives you a bunch of different ways to get over the gaslighting, which is the narcissist's main tactic to keep you confused and in chaos when you're in the relationship with them. So just wrote a little thing about that, gave you some grounding tools, gave you some like journaling prompts, things like that. So if you feel like I don't even have brain cells to even do anything, I gave you lots of things to do without you having to really worry about it.
Love it. Love it. So click on that link, download it. If you can just put a one in the chat just to let us know. Sometimes technical stuff happens. We want to
Yes.
make sure it's working. So if you've been
Yes.
able to download it, if you can just put a one in the chat, please, and just let us know it's working. Now you also have a VIP gift for those that
Yes.
upgrade to VIP. Tell us
Yes.
about that.
VIPs, come on over. Yes, I have a one-on-one coaching session. Um, Thank you, Amy. Amy was able to download it, but I do have a one-on-one coaching session for the VIPs who'd like to get together with me and chat about whatever you want to chat about. If you're just in it or you're just leaving, you're in it, you want to get out, you've been out, all the things. Let's talk about whatever you feel like you need for your next chapter to start.
Wonderful. And, you know, it's only $59 to upgrade. And you
Yes.
get this
Right.
plus all the other VIP gifts, plus all the recordings that
Right.
you can
Exactly.
watch at your own leisure. It's there indefinitely. So go ahead and click that link. I'm telling you, VIP upgrades are worth it. They're
They're so
always worth
worth
it.
it.
There's so
Yeah.
much. There's so much, and there's so many gifts. All right. I know we're going to talk about the next speakers. So here's Mimi Thrasher, Divorce, Navigating Life's Toughest Transition. And that's the Zoom link there. Michael Cohen is going to be here on this track again. Next, divorce mediation is the healthiest path to divorce. And then Michelle Benyo is Parenting Through Heartbreak to Healing and Harmony will be on track 3. So go ahead and choose which one feels good for you next. And before we go, Laura, what's one last thing that you would like to leave us with for those people that are going through divorce or going through, thinking about it
Mm-hmm.
or, kind of trying to figure out what's on the other end? What's one last thing you'd like to
Yeah.
leave us with?
That you're not always going to feel as bad as you feel now. So sometimes we are stuck in freeze to make the next decision. And sometimes we have to push through that. And if you don't have any hope and you can't see the future, please hold on to our hope and the positive things that we have told you today, and be brave and just move forward. You can do it.
Yeah, yeah. In those moments where it feels like maybe you can't take another step, you can.
Yes,
There's
you can.
always hope.
Yes.
Just
And we'll help
one
you.
small step, right?
That's
One
right.
small step,
Yes,
right?
that's it.
And
That's it.
just take it. And just if you can't find the hopes, look at us. We're the light
Yes,
on the other side of the tunnel that,
that's right.
we've made it through and you can do this. I know you can. I know you can. Reach out.
Thanks,
You're
Betsy.
worth it.
Thanks. Yes, that's so true. It's so true.
Yeah.
Thanks, Betsy. I appreciate you. Thanks to
So
everybody who was
Laura,
here.
yes, it has been so wonderful spending this time with you. Like I said, we could chat for hours, I'm sure,
Yes, it's true.
about all of this stuff. But we have other speakers that need to speak too. So thank
That's
you for
right.
being here. Thank you for sharing your heart and your expertise with all of us today. I know we have all been left better for it.
Thank you, Leslie. All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you around.
And I think we don't have audio,
Wow,
so
that
we'll
was a
just be going out.
fantastic
We'll see
speaker.
whoever
There
comes
it go.
We've
back.
There
got
it
this
goes.
talk and all the talks, plus
Oh,
an incredible bundle of valuable gifts. Upgrade to VIP now. If you have any questions or concerns during the summit, email our helpful support team at support@speakersplayhouse.com. Stay tuned. We've got another incredible guest coming right up.